Hello and welcome to the live stream. Welcome everyone to the live stream today, this morning, this Friday morning, which I am so happy to say that I have work off today. I normally work on Fridays and today I have it off, which is great. It's wonderful. It's always nice to have a Friday off, right? Even the people who usually work Fridays deserve to have a Friday off here and there, and I have a Friday off from the bookstore I work at. I work at a bookstore, and I have today off. I'm so happy because the Friday is such a great day. It's like right before the weekend, right before Saturday, right before Sunday. I remember like years ago when I was in my early 20s, and I used to love Friday because Friday meant the weekend, right? But then I had when I got my job at the bookstore, I typically would work weekends then suddenly, and suddenly now my weekends became my work. But the people all look forward to the weekends, like, oh, it's the weekend, right? But like when I got my job at the bookstore, then I was working on the weekends, so at the bookstore, so like with the weekends were like my work time, right? So the topic of today's live stream is World War IV, the Secret War, fought in the shadows by secret societies and government agencies trying to maintain influence and control of the masses. Whoever wins and controls knowledge and information will decide your future, if you even have one. Um, Very interesting because, these secret societies, they are doing so much in the background that we don't even realize. And like, you don't see these secret societies, they don't have a news channel, right? It's not like the Illuminati has a 24/7 Illuminati show, like telling you all the secret stuff that the Illuminati does behind everyone's back. It's not like the Freemasons, like, just invite you into the Freemasons lodge, which I wonder if a bunch of journalists and media people showed up to a Freemasons lodge, like would they even be let in? Like, so all of these secret societies, like there's a reason why they're called secret societies, right? And they're doing all this stuff behind everyone's backs. There's all of these wars going on. There's all of these events that are happening, which, you know, that are unexplained. Which probably, if people investigated secret societies more, it is there definitely are people who investigate secret societies, but it's not that many. I mean, the people who investigate secret societies, it's a very small group of people that investigate secret societies, and secret societies, they're doing so much. The secret societies, they're doing so much behind everyone's back, people don't even realize. So I think in Canada, at least, Canada, the whole country of Canada is a mystery because there are all of these government buildings in Canada which are not accessible to anyone, especially Americans. Um, and it's kind of scary. It's like, what's the government doing? Like, why does the government need all of these special top secret research facilities in Canada? What are they doing? What are they researching? What are they working on? Why are even Canadians are not permitted to go, and especially Americans? Why? Why does Canada have all of these top secret research facility bases? Like, you can see them, and sometimes you can't even see them. Sometimes they're like a legend. Sometimes they're like folklore that you heard about, like you hear it from people. Like, especially, Canada has all of these forests. Canada have all of these forests, and you could be walking into the middle of a forest thinking you're just in the middle of nowhere in a forest, and suddenly stumble on upon a big research facility in the middle of a forest, right? And then imagine you discover this big secret Canadian secret research facility, and if you just walk up and be like, I discovered your secret, I know where the secret research facility is in Canada, What do you think that the people who work at that secret research facility in Canada are going to do? Are they going to just let that person just walk away and then tell everyone else where the secret research facility is, hidden in the middle of the Canadian forest, you know? So, a lot of times, probably, I mean, if you're smart, you know, you're like in the forest doing whatever people do in the forest, going camping. They go deep in the forest, they get lost. They stumble upon like this top secret research facility base. And then they're like, if they're really smart, they'd be like, uh, I'm lost. And maybe that's a mirage. Maybe that's like, you know, I've been walking in the forest for a few days. You know, you're low on food, you're low on water. You know, so you just keep walking. But I mean, it's like imagine like Canadians who like then try to go on the news and walk around and be like, oh, they found a secret Canadian research, top secret research Canadian base in the middle of a forest in Canada, right? Imagine like someone going around trying to tell everyone exactly where it is. But the forest is like, I mean, you can get lost in those Canadian forests. I mean, you could send a whole research team in, you could send a whole investigative team. You could send a whole investigative team, uh, a search team into those Canadian forests, and the whole search team could get lost. And then they have to get a search team to look for the other search team. And then that search team gets lost. And then they have to get a search team to look for the search team that was looking for the. Anyways. But yeah, the Canadian forests, they're like the perfect place to hide top secret Canadian research facilities that are definitely off limits to Canadians and especially off limits to Americans. Well, obviously not off limits to all Canadians, but most Canadians. These top secret Canadian research facilities in the middle of these Canadian forests, you know. And like they're covered by all of these trees. So I bet even Google Maps, right? I bet even the satellites and Google Maps, because you know they're hidden within all of these trees, is you know, and they could be like semi above ground, so they could be mostly even underground, right? So imagine trying to find a secret, top secret research facility in Canada that's in the middle of the forest, in the middle of nowhere, and it's mostly underground. So when you stumble upon it in the middle of the forest, maybe you just see like a little sign and then like a trap door that goes underneath underground or something to the secret research facility in Canada where they experiment on people, you know? So, you know, interesting enough, because, you know, television is often based on truth, right? You know, a lot of television is fiction, but a lot of television is based on real things, you know? And X-Men, the animated series, which is like a cartoon, but like it was a sophisticated cartoon for like, you know, teenagers and adults even. It was a sophisticated cartoon. It was like an animated X-Men, the animated series from the 90s. I mean, they're talking about secret research facilities in Canada. They had it was called X Flight. It was like a special Canadian because it was the whole Wolverine. You remember the Wolverine? They had it featured in the Wolverine movies where they are experimenting on Wolverine. It's Wolverine was a big science experiment, right? Wolverine from the X Men was partly naturally a mutant, but you know, because he had such great healing properties, then they even further experimented on him, and you know they put the titanium in him and everything. And then Canada, Wolverine was actually Canadian. They made Wolverine Canadian. I was surprised because also Wolverine, well, I guess Wolverine coming from Canada does kind of make sense because you know there's a lot of Wolverines and stuff like that in Canada, but they made Wolverine Canadian, and Wolverine, his origins are from Canada, from a top secret research facility in Canada where they experimented on mutants and they enhanced the mutant powers, and then right? So, you know, a lot of these TV shows are based on truth, right? Like a lot of these TV shows, they mix fiction with truth, they mix fact and fiction. And that whole X-Men animated series was like, it was like, it was a show, TV show that like, it was like it was as if all of these people wanted to get together and wanted to tell the public stuff in a safe way. Like it was as if, like they obviously, like I was saying before, like it's, if you discover upon a government secret, it would be so dangerous to just walk down the street and blurt the government secret out. You don't think that Putin, you don't think that if you discover a deep dark secret about the Kremlin, that Putin would send his men, Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, you don't think that he would be concerned if there were like these ex KGB officers, these ex Kremlin officers who were suddenly trying to reveal all of Kremlin's secrets? You don't think that Putin, Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, would send his top officials to like kibosh the secrets and cover up the whatever, right? I'm just using Putin as an example, but really, you could use the same scenario for the United States. You don't think that if there were a bunch of Canadians that stumbled upon American secrets about the White House, deep dark secrets, deep dark secrets about President Biden or Donald Trump, you don't think that Donald Trump or President Biden would send like top White House officials to try to eliminate the secrets from being get out, right? Like to stop the secrets from being exposed, right? So it's very possible in this X-Men animated TV series, which is, if you watch the whole TV series from start to end, I mean, it's definitely the case. I mean, they're talking about all of this advanced technology. They were talking about technology in the 90s that wasn't even invented yet. Of course, everything starts off as science fiction, right? So it's very possible that they were, discussing science fiction ideas, but a lot of the stuff from the TV show in the 90s ended up becoming invented for real. And so the X-Men, the animated TV series in the 90s, they link Wolverine, and it's even in the movie, it's even in the major, the Hollywood movie, the live action movie of with Hugh Jackman, Hugh Jackman. It's even within that movie, Wolverine is linked to a secret research facility, which if you watch X-Men the animated series from the 90s, they link it to a Canadian secret research facility, and Wolverine apparently was originally a part of like this X Flight, which is like a Canadian team of whatever, right? Canadian team of mutants. So they mix fact and fiction, and if you're smart, right? If you are an intelligent person who wants to get secrets out, if you want to tell the world deep dark secrets about the government, if you want to expose the government and tell the world deep dark secrets about the government, one of the ways that they might do that in a safe way is to like show it in a TV show, but like not like kind of disguise it. Like they kind of disguise it a bit. Like they'll disguise it, right? So they'll kind of like, so it's not like it's the Hollywood TV producer just coming flat out and just saying the government does this, the government does that, the government does this. They're like, it's part of a TV show where it's semi-fiction, but then it's kind of based on real events. So kind of people are watching and being like, this TV episode is kind of so similar to real world events. And it's almost as if like the TV show's trying to tell you something about these world events, right? Like I'm not talking about a documentary about 9/11. Obviously, a documentary about 9/11 is a straight up like talking about world events. I'm talking about like a lot of these TV shows, for example, like the Mothman prophecy. Not well, the Mothman prophecies were based on, they were based on real sightings of the Mothman, and and of course, The Exorcist. The Exorcist was based on real reports of exorcisms and possessions, right? So a lot of this stuff, that this television, they mix fact and fiction, right? They mix fact and fiction. And I mean, really, the Canadian news is, if anyone mixes fact and fiction the most, it's the Canadian news and the American news that mix fact and fiction. I mean, this is why Donald Trump was saying for years, fake news, the media is fake news. In fact, there's probably more fiction in the news. There's probably more fiction than fact in the news. You probably see more fact in television shows. Because television shows, like, they are carefully researched, usually. I'm not talking about Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians. I'm talking about, like, TV shows where they are professionally researched and developed and the script is written, right? A lot of times those TV shows are based on real stuff. And look at Aaron Brockovich, right? Perfect. The Hollywood movie. The Hollywood movie Aaron Brockovich was based on like real stuff that the government had been doing. And big companies, right? So, I mean, there really is a secret war, and we don't know what they're doing, and we don't know what could happen in the future. We really don't. I mean, like I was saying, we've been shocked before with COVID, the COVID pandemic, with 9/11, with the Boston Marathon, California being on fire. It seems like anything could happen at this point. Heck, I wouldn't be shocked if aliens from another planet invaded Earth tomorrow. I really wouldn't be shocked. I honestly wouldn't. I mean, I would be more shocked if there were no aliens because mathematically, just as a mathematician, the chances that Earth would be the only planet with life not only in our solar system but in the universe, the mathematically that doesn't make sense that planet Earth would be the only planet with life. So I would actually expect to see aliens from another planet visiting Earth. I would be more shocked to not see them at all, especially to not see them even within 100 years span, right? So and of course, all of these secret societies, they have all this information on aliens. They have all this information on UFOs. They have all this information on science and technology and biotechnology, the internet. They have these special. So, anyways, thank you for coming to the live stream. And I'm gonna end the live stream now because it's not so much that I ran out of something to talk about. There's so much to talk about, but you have to be really crafty the way, you have to be smart about things. You have to be smart. Like I was saying, if you've discovered secrets about the Kremlin, walking down the streets of Moscow and just blurring the secrets out in public would not be wise, especially with Putin and the Kremlin nearby, right? That being said, I like Putin and I like the Kremlin. And I do feel like, the United States has been part of so many wars. Like, the United States has been, fought with Japan, and the United States fought with Germany, and the United States fought with Korea, and the United States even, fought with Mexico, and the United States had a Cold War with Russia. So, you have to look at all sides, even Russia's side. Like, you have to hear Russia's side of the story. You have to hear everyone's side of the story.